What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down my reaction to a five-star wide receiver's highlight tape and an average unranked wide receiver's highlight tape, and just what are some of the key differences between the two, what a college coach is going to look for, one of those, highly recruitable guys on film, and what's going to make you more appealing to college coaches, and just to give you some insight on the wide receiver position as a whole. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it gives you some value. Let's get started. So the first tape we're going to be looking at here is from five-star wide receiver Evan Stewart. Okay, so Evan Stewart's going to be in the slot right here. Now, the first thing right off the bat that you notice about this case, very explosive, good route runner, good with the football in his hands, and that's what a lot of college coaches look for. So this is the second tape on his highlight film, right? He is right here in the slot. He's this guy who's kind of offset back here. Let's watch this thing full speed. So they bring him in motion, then they kick him back out, and they end up throwing this bubble screen to him, right? But now I want you to see when the ball's in his hands, he is very explosive. This is what gets you recruited and what gets you to play at the next level is making explosive plays like this. They don't want to see the average play where you just simply run by a defender. They want to see this play where you have a violent change of direction. You're able to be explosive. As soon as that ball hits your hands, you are explosive and lightning upfield. That's what guys want to see, right? A lot of people get caught up in the, how can I make my highlight tape, most appealing to college coaches? What order do I need to put the plays in? How long does it need to be? Honest to God, the first 5 plays, you need to show that you're explosive and that you can make big plays. Great football players play at the next level, right? Now, what separates the 5-star guys from the average guys, that's what we're going to be talking about when we take a look at the second highlight tape. But again, he catches that ball and you see it's just an explosive change of direction. Everything he does is violent. He's able to get yards after contact. He's able to explode upfield. That's what you want to be able to showcase on film. So to be able to stand out on tape, you have to put those types of plays first up in your tape. Even if you don't score a touchdown, you have an explosive 70-yard gain. I would rather see that from a college coach's perspective than somebody who catches the ball at like the 40-yard line and has a clean blocked up play and just runs it right up the middle. That doesn't really impress me. Like, I expect you to do that. If I'm a college coach, I expect you to do that. I want to see you make plays that I don't expect you to do. Honest to God, this play right here should probably be, because it's not really blocked up that well, I guess you can say, should probably be like a 7-8 yard gain, but he turns it into a 60-yard touchdown. Like, that's the difference between that 5-star guy and just a regular average wide receiver, right? Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job turning this play from pretty much nothing into something, breaking a tackle and taking this thing upfield. 5-star wide receivers, fellas, are explosive. Now we're going to take a look at this whip route from Evan Stewart on the goal line here, okay? So now this is a great example of knowing what to do and having a high football IQ. He's at the bottom of the screen right here. But before we get into this whip route, fellas, from Evan Stewart, I want to talk to you about a great opportunity that we are having this offseason. We are going to be traveling out to 8 different cities across the United States. We're starting off our camp tour for the rest of this year in Houston, Texas. Then we're going to be traveling out to Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California. We're coming out to those 8 cities for 2-day-long quarterback, wide receiver, and DB training camps, okay? So for these training camps, I wouldn't even necessarily call it a camp. It's more like a clinic because we are limiting spots to only 10 to 12 guys per position group. We're keeping things small so we can actually develop you for the 2 whole days, 8 hours of training that we have you guys for. So if you guys are interested or local to one of those cities, want to come out and get some work in with us, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you out to one of our camps. We're a big believer in actually teaching the athlete. We're not going to run you through drills. We're not just going to take your money and then just have you do pointless ladder drills and cone drills. We're going to actually coach you up, help you get better for 2 whole days. We're doing position-specific work, and we'll have DBs out there for one-on-ones, half lines, so you guys can get some competition against kids your own age and kids at a higher skill level. So I hope you guys could check that out. Very first link in the description below. We would love to have you out to one of our off-season camps in these 8 cities. Let's get back to this video. So now, like I was saying, right? So from a college coach perspective, what else do I want to see from a receiver, right? Obviously, I want him to be explosive. Obviously, I want him to be fast. I want him to be able to make plays with the ball in his hand. But I also want to be able to see a high football IQ, demonstration of knowing and understanding coverages, understanding why DBs play a certain way. So if you guys are familiar with this channel, we talk a lot about leverage, right? So backside, man coverage, and he has to run a whip route, right? But he's got a DB who's inside shade like so, right? So how would you guys approach this, right? So a way you can do it is maybe attack the DB's leverage, maybe square him up. Then we break to the slant. I got to sell with my eyes. I got to have some speed to the slant. I get this DB to commit, and then I can whip this thing back out. So that's exactly what Stewart does right here. So again, he attacks the leverage of the DB, showcasing that he knows how to understand that. He understands leverage. He has a high football IQ. Then he's able to make this play and get separation on the out route. This whip route, the break great point, is explosive. He has explosion. That's why it's so important, fellas. You hear me talk a lot about sometimes gym exercises, being explosive as a wide receiver, developing that fast twitch. This is why, fellas, it showcases on film, and you see the best guys who are getting recruited can showcase that, right? Like the route running stuff is very, very important, but that speed and that explosion that you could show on film, that is very, very appealing to a college coach. And that's what separates a lot of these five-star guys from these unranked guys. Like some of these unranked guys run great routes. They just don't have that explosion that some of these guys have, right? So let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. He attacks that leverage. DB keeps his leverage, sells the slant, gets him to commit. This is a great route. This is a stellar whip route right there. And then making that play on the ball, great route there by Evan Stewart. Okay, so now, I'm not going to name this receiver. I really don't know who it is. Honest to God, I just kind of pulled up his highlights on Twitter, just a random kid. And I just an unranked guy. But again, I think he has potential for sure. He's an athletic kid. But like this is going to be the difference between that unranked guy and the five-star guy because you're going to see the types of plays. These are the first two plays on his highlight tape, right? These are the first two plays that we are going to be showcasing to a college coach, right? So now, again, it's got to show your speed. It's got to show your explosion. It's got to show your big playmaking capability. So he's going to be right here out of the number 3. He's running that bubble screen just like Evan Stewart ran, right? But now watch the difference here. So again, this is a touchdown, but I want you to see the clip. Clear path to the end zone. Not a whole lot of explosion. Not a whole lot. And again, great play. You know, he scored. It's a touchdown. Whatever goes on the stat sheet. You know, it's a touchdown, probably a big situation in the game. But again, when he's catching this ball, it's just like the play's blocked up, right? We got block here. It's just a clean path. All he pretty much has to do is just go run straight, right? So from a recruiting perspective, if I'm telling this wide receiver and I'm evaluating his film, I'm going to tell him, hey, maybe that shouldn't be the first play on your tape. I would rather see him catch a bubble screen maybe at midfield, take it 15 yards, but break a couple tackles and show some explosion with the ball in his hand rather than catching a bubble screen and just pretty much just running straight. You know what I mean? You just got to be able to run and not fall down in this case, right? So now, again, maybe if you don't have those big plays where you show that explosion, that's something you need to work on. A lot of guys want, the D1 aspirations. They have aspirations to play at the next level, and that's great. That's awesome, and you should have that aspiration to play there. But if you don't have the plays on film, you can't really get there. You know what I mean? The big eye in the sky does not lie. So you got to be able to showcase it on film. So your focus in the offseason should not be how many coaches can I send my highlight tape out to. It should be, okay, what's my focus here? My focus should be getting better. I need to get faster. I need to get more explosive. I need to make these big plays. I need to understand football IQ. I got to run better routes so I can make those big plays on film. You have time, fellas. That's the thing. You have time. You have 4 years of high school to be able to develop these skills. And if you're a youth guy watching this and you're trying to develop, you're way ahead of the curve, right? So that's the difference right here. Now we're going to watch one more clip after this, and it's going to kind of further my point of, hey, this is the second clip on his highlight tape, and this is what we're going to be rolling with here, right? So we're going to be bringing him across in motion across the field. Now, again, another play, scored a touchdown, looks good on the stat sheet, but it's not really an amazing play, if you will. It's cool. He ran the 5-yard out, but nobody's really guarding him. 2 defenders are off. He's pretty much just wide open. He just had to kind of walk into it. I would rather watch him catch a 10. If I'm a college coach and I'm trying to recruit this kid, I'm thinking, okay, if these are his 2 best plays at the very beginning of his tape, that there's really not much more to work with, right? But again, I'm not saying that this kid doesn't have that. I'm just saying I would rather see him run a maybe 15-yard comeback, dust the defender at the top of this thing, get separation, and get a 15-yard gain rather than a simple 2-3-yard touchdown where he just kind of basically just had to run straight and just find open grass. I would rather see the technical side of things, the explosive side of things, the speed, and just the overall ability showcasing on film with routes that I'm going to ask him to run rather than just, okay, that was his only 2 touchdowns. He probably had more than 2 touchdowns, but those were his only 2 touchdowns, so that's why they're at the beginning of his tape. We got to be able to showcase the speed, explosion, and that's that difference, fellas, between the 5-star and the average guy. The 5-star has those plays, and he has tens and tens of those plays throughout the tape. That's why those guys are 5-star recruits. Now, I'm not saying 5-star means everything, because it doesn't. I've seen a lot of 5-star guys make crappy plays, and they're just bigger than everybody else. And when they get to college, that ain't going to fly, because everybody else is just as big as them, right? So it matters what you put on tape. It matters the plays that you make. Your main focus, if you're that unranked guy, needs to be making those big plays. That's how you climb up the chart. Everybody always loves to talk about stars and offers and all that stuff. That's how you climb. Great football players will play at the next level. Everybody's journey is a little different. Some guys have to go to JUCO. I know on the East Coast, it's real popular to do that post-grad, a couple years over there. Everybody's journey is different, but you have to make big plays on film. You have to showcase the explosion, the speed, the route running, the IQ. Those are the things we want to see as a college coach. So watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Again, again, I know this kid is probably way more explosive than this, and I know he can make big plays. It's just that's what you have to showcase on your tape. And if you don't have that, you need to focus on getting that. All right, fellas, again, if you guys are local to one of those 8 cities that we talked about, we'd love to have you out to one of our off-season quarterback, wide receiver, and DB training camps. So again, if you're in Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, or Los Angeles, California, we would love to have you out to one of our camps. Check out that very first link in the description below. Hope this video helps you guys out, gave you some value, taught you a few things about what college coaches are looking for in wide receivers. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We'd really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time.